And you know, this is really such a metaphor for life, and I just want to offer it this morning as we open our practice. So again, this is Santiago by David White. The road seen, then not seen. The hillside hiding, then revealing the way you should take. The road dropping away from you as if leaving you to walk on thin air, then catching you, holding you up when you thought you would fall. And the way forward, always in the end, the way that you followed, the way that carried you into your future, that brought you to this place. No matter that it sometimes took your promise from you, no matter that it had to break your heart along the way. The sense of having walked from far inside yourself out into the revelation, to have risked yourself for something that seemed to stand both inside you and far beyond you, that called you back to the only road in the end you could follow, walking as you did in your rags of love, and speaking in the voice that by night became a prayer for safe arrival. So that one day you realized that what you wanted had already happened, and long ago, in the dwelling place you had lived in before you began, and that every step along the way you had carried the heart and the mind and the promise that first set you off and drew you on, and that you were more marvelous in your simple wish to find a way than the gilded roofs of any destination you could reach, as if all along you had thought the end point might be a city with golden towers and cheering crowds, and turning the corner at what you thought was the end of the road, you found just a simple reflection and a clear revelation beneath the face looking back, and beneath it another invitation, all in one glimpse, like a person and a place you had sought forever, like a broad field of freedom that beckoned you beyond, like another life, and a road still stretching on. And so just taking a moment to acknowledge whatever brought you to this place in this moment, series of life events, ups and downs, this moment in time, never to be repeated. Just being fully here, awake, and aware. And feeling into the breath in the body. Feeling your Ujjayi breath, if you're familiar with that. Gentle engagement using the muscles at the back of your throat. On your next in-breath, you pause at the top of that in-breath, holding all the way full. And then send an exhale out your mouth and just let it release and let it go. Good. Again, like that, take a full breath in through the nostrils, all the way full. And And again, as you exhale, send that sigh out to your mouth and let it release, shoulders soft. We'll do one more just like that. Full breath in, lengthening up through the crown of your head. Maybe sip in a little more air, all the way full. And exhale, long sigh out your mouth and let it release. And then let's just start to move the upper body a little bit, side to side. Just start to mobilize and make some space. You're welcome to come into a little bit of a twist or a forward fold. It's really starting to inhabit your body this morning. And then we're going to extend the right arm way up alongside the ear, and then come up and over into a nice side bend, side body stretch. Really anchor down through your right sits bone, the right side of your pelvis, as you lengthen and find a bit of space between the ribs and along the side body. Good. And then we're going to take 3 big circles with this right arm. And you can do this with the arm straight or with the arm bent and just move the elbow, just depending on what feels best to your body this morning. Just feeling into that range of motion. Good. And then we're going to come back to an upright position. Stretch the arms out. Take your right arm underneath your left. You can either grab a hold of opposite shoulders or move all the way into eagle arms, lifting up through the elbows and the forearms and pressing forward. Just feeling into the shoulders and the upper back. You can keep it upright, lifting up through the fingertips, or you can drop this down, forearms toward the ground. Going to take one more deep breath here in your seated eagle pose. And then ease your way back upright. We're going to unwind the arms, stretch the right arm back up again alongside your ear, bend your elbow, fingertips in between the shoulder blades, left arm up and over, hold on to the elbow and just take another little side bend here, holding on to the elbow. Good, you guys. Last full breath here. And then ease your way back up. We're going to release the elbow, bring the hands behind you, uncross the legs, and before we do that on the other side, just take some windshield wipers side to side, moving through the hips, through the lower back. Good. And then we're going to come back to a cross-legged position, but I'd like for you to cross your legs the other way. So your non-habitual way, crossing your legs, and then extend your left arm all the way up, stretch out tall, and then come up and over into your side bend, your side body stretch. And again, really anchor down through that left side of your pelvis, root down through the sits bone, lengthening through the arm and the torso. And then 3 big circles here with the left arm, any direction you want. Arm can be straight or elbow can be bent. Good. And then we'll extend back upright, stretch out through both arms, and wrap your left arm underneath your right arm. Again, you can grab a hold of opposite shoulders or come into that eagle, full eagle arm position. Lift up a little bit through the elbows and the forearms and the fingertips and press forward, feeling into your shoulders and your upper back. Maybe stay upright, or you can drop this forward, coming into your fold, bringing your forearms toward the ground in front of you. Good. Last breath here. And we'll start to make our way back upright. And unwind the arms, stretch it back out. Take your left arm up, bend your elbow, fingertips in between the shoulder blades, right arm up and over, hold onto the elbow. Just give it a little gentle pull over to the side, stretching into your tricep, shoulder, upper back. Good. Give this one more breath here. And then ease your way back up. Release your elbow. Bring the arms down. Hands come behind you once again. Uncross your legs and back to a couple of windshield wipers. Just work it out. Feel into the breath in the body. Nice job, everybody. And then we will eventually make our way into or toward hands and knees. So come forward and start to move a little bit here through cat-cow. So opening up through the heart, a little lift of the tailbone on the in-breath, and then pull the belly in and round the spine on the out-breath. Good. Just move back and forth a few more times here at your own pace. Good. And any other movement you'd like to take here, maybe hips side to side, or child's pose, or hips in a circle. Just take a couple more breaths here. Perfect. And then we'll make our way into downward facing dog. So tuck your toes under, push through your hands, through your palms, hips toward the sky, and then a little shifting or pedaling through your feet, opening up your calves and hamstrings and backs of your knees. Good, everybody. Take another couple breaths here in downward dog. Hollowing out the belly, pulling navel toward your spine. And let's put a little bend in the knees, look toward the hands, step or hop forward toward the top of your mat. And on your in-breath, lengthen to a flat back. So extend your spine, halfway lift, and then exhale, fold. Good. here in your forward fold, walk your fingertips over to your left, maybe off of your mat a little bit, and feel into the right side body and outer hip and IT band. You can lean into it a little bit, maybe shifting your hips a little bit to your right. And then walk your hands back through center and walk your hands over to your right and feel into your left side body. Good. Take one more breath here. And then walk your fingertips back through center. Feel your feet on the ground, on the earth. Come all the way up to standing. Take your time to get there. We'll stretch and lengthen up through the arms. And then exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Shoulders soft away from the ears. Inhale, re-extend the arms back up, lengthen. Maybe lift your gaze up. Exhale, bend your elbows and open up your chest. So a little spinal extension here. Inhale, re-extend the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Halfway lift on the in-breath. Lengthen it forward. Exhale, fold it back in. Draw the belly in and up. Come all the way back up to standing. Stretch up, reach tall, maybe a little back bend. And exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Good, we'll keep this moving. Arms reach up. Inhale, stretch and lengthen up. Exhale, bend your elbows and open like we did before. Turning the chest toward the sky. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen. Good. Let's take the hands to the floor this time and make our way to plank, upper push-up. We're going to hold here for just a couple of breaths. You're welcome to do this from your knees. Pull the belly in, inner thighs toward midline, lift through your core. Take another full breath. And then lower down slowly, Chaturanga Dandasana, all the way down to the belly. Pull the shoulders back and open up into a little cobra. Come to a version here that you can hold for a breath or two. Shoulders away from the ears and heart forward. Good. And then make your way back to downward facing dog. Push up and back. And this time in down dog, we're going to tiptoe forward just a little bit and then tiptoe out just a little bit. Coming into a twist. So push right hand into the ground. Unweight your left hand, reach around and hold the outer right calf, ankle, or anywhere you can reach. The knees can be a little bit bent. You can also do this on the knees and do a thread the needle if you prefer. So continue to pull back through your right hip and open your chest toward that right side. Kind of looking to the right underneath the arm and the armpit. Last breath here. Good. And then release, come back to downward dog. Take the other side. So right hand on weights. Reach the right hand around to the outer left foot, calf, or ankle. Push into the ground with your left hand. Continue to pull left hip back, looking to your left, kind of past your left arm and armpit. Last full breath here. Good, you guys. Come back to center, hands to the floor. You can bring your feet back in a little bit. Bend your knees, look forward, step or hop forward toward the front of your mat. Flat back, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Good, all the way up to standing on in-breath. Reach up, open. And exhale, hands together at the heart. Good, bend your knees as though you're sitting into chair pose, but just take your arms out wide. We're gonna take right arm underneath left. So eagle arms, right arm underneath left. Shift your weight over to your left foot, pick up your right leg up and over your left. So right arm is under, right leg is over. Garudasana, eagle pose. Couple more breaths here, sit a little bit deeper. Front or standing leg is bent. Lift up through your fingertips and your forearms. For a little extra challenge here, you could fold this over, touching elbows toward your top knee, and then bringing it back up. Just a little balance challenge. Take another breath here. Good, and then let's unwind, uncross, stretch your arms back up, reach. Bend your elbows open through your chest, turn your heart up. Inhale, re-extend. And then exhale, just release your arms back down. Good. Just gonna do that on the other side, so bend your knees, sitting into chair, take your arms out. And then take your left arm underneath your right arm for eagle. You can sit just a little bit deeper into that chair pose. And then shift your weight to your right foot. Pick up your left leg, wrap it around. Maybe get that tuck of your toes behind your calf. Bend your standing leg a little bit more. Press your forearms forward. And you can either keep it here or bring it down. This is hard on the grass, isn't it, you guys? Don't you wish you were up on the concrete like me? Good, and then bring it back up. Take one more breath here. Good, and then unwind out of that. Whew, stretch up. Reach up, bend your elbows, open your chest. Re-extend up through your arms. And then let's take it forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen. And then plant your hands, take a step or hop back, moving through your vinyasa. Chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Feel your hands root down and extend your right leg back behind you. Reach it up to your three-legged downward dog. Good. Keep your hips square. Reach through the right leg and through the toes and pull belly in, navel to spine. Try to root down through your left heel a little bit more. Maybe even walking your hands back a couple of inches. Keep that right leg strong and lifted. Push through your right hand. Walk your left hand back to about the middle of your mat. You can keep your hand and fingertips on the floor here, or you could try to unweight and float your left hand off of the mat and bring it back and along the side. Just teeter, totter, balance. Take another breath. Good. Now left hand comes to the mat. Pull your right knee in toward your chest. Lift through your core and round your spine. Inhale. Take the leg back again and reach it up. Lengthen. And then exhale, pull that knee in toward your chest. Good. Do one more of these. Take the leg back, stretch it up. And then exhale, pull that knee in, and let's step it all the way through into a lunge. So keep that back knee lifted. Bring your hands up to your right thigh. Square off the hips, push into the thigh, lengthen the torso up. Pull the belly back, navel to spine, send the arms up alongside the ears. Good. On your inhale, feel for length from the tailbone out through the fingertips and the crown of your head. As you exhale, maybe deepen into that lunge some. And then working into our turbo lunge, so we'll bend the elbows and we'll also bend the back knee. Squeeze your shoulder blades toward one another. Lift and open up through your heart. 2 more breaths here. Good. Stretch back up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the floor. Out in front of you, standing splits. You're going to pick up your back leg, float the left leg into the air as you fold over your right leg. Good. You could take the right hand or forearm back behind your calf and really fold it in. Good. Take 1 more breath. Lift that left leg 1 more inch. And then step it all the way back into a lunge, centering the right knee over the ankle. And then sending the right arm up for a twisting lunge. Option to drop this back knee down. That's fine. Or option to really hug inner thighs toward midline. Pull the belly in and unweight the left hand. If you're in that particular variation, you could bring the torso upright and bend your back knee, so coming into that turbo twisting lunge. Couple more breaths here, wherever you are. Choose the twist of your choice. Good. Both hands down to the ground. Walk your hands all the way over toward your left. So spin your feet. You're in a wide straddle. Flat back as you inhale. Exhale, fold. 5 deep breaths. Good. On your next in-breath, flat back and lengthen. Walk your hands back up toward the top of your mat. Step back to plank. Bring your feet and ankle bones right together. Shift your weight over to your right hand, your right palm. Roll to the pinky toe side of that right foot for side plank, Vashisthasana. Pull the hips way up. Okay, option to come down to the knee or forearm, that's fine. Feel into your core. Extend your left arm forward, reach your fingertips toward the front of your mat. Maybe float your left leg up. Good, you guys, last breath. Bring it all the way to plank, come right down to your knees. Knees a little wider on your mat. Stretch your right arm out and up. Thread the needle. Good. You can keep the left hand on the ground for a little bit of leverage with your elbow pointing up, or you could kick your toes, left toes out to the left and kind of push with your left foot, straightening out that left leg to go deeper into this job, you guys. Take another breath here. And then let's unwind out of that. And send the right arm back out. Stretch it up as you open. And bring the right hand back to your mat. Good work. Let's make our way back to a downward facing dog. Push with your palms, lift your knees off of the mat, connect to your core. Feel your breath. And then send your left leg back behind you. Reach it up to a three-legged downward dog. Left leg in the air. Right heel toward the floor. Strong through your core. You might walk your hands back a couple of inches. Keep your left hand rooting down. Walk your right hand back to about the middle of your mat. Maybe keep it there, or you can float your right hand away. Good. Playing around with this balance. Couple more breaths here. And then right hand comes back to the ground. Pull your left knee in toward your chest. Lift through your core around your spine. Take the leg back again as you inhale, three-legged dog. And then exhale, pull that knee in. Good. Last one of these. Take the leg back. Stretch it up tall. And exhale, pull the knee in. Step your foot through. And setting up for your lunge. So keep that back knee off of the mat. Bring your hands up to your left thigh. And just stabilize here. Get your bearings. Push into your thigh. Take your torso upright. Square off the hips. Squeeze toward midline. Strong and stable in your lower body. Arms reach up. So as you inhale, feel for that length from the tailbone out through the crown of the head and the fingertips. As you exhale, maybe deepen into that lunge. So find your edge here. Bending your elbows, bending your back knee for this turbo lunge, opening the chest. Give this one more breath. Stretch back up, inhale. Exhale, fingertips to the ground out in front of you. Standing split, so pick up your right leg. Feel your left foot rooting down. Floating up to your right leg. Maybe take your left hand and forearm back behind your calf as you fold it in. Good, you guys. Couple more breaths here. Feel into your standing leg. Float your right leg up one more inch. And step it all the way back into your lunge. Now, center your left knee over the ankle. Right hand to the ground or a block. Send your left arm up for your twisting lunge. Good. Back knee can always come down. So you can, once again, either keep it here or you can squeeze in toward that center line and weight your right hand. Float your right hand off of the mat. Use your core. Maybe come to your upright turbo twisting lunge, bending your back knee a little bit. Good. Couple more breaths here. Squeeze through inner thighs, reach through the arms and the fingertips. Last breath. Good. Unwind out of that. Hands down. Walk your hands to the right this time, so spin your feet. Prasarita, Padottanasana. Flat back as you inhale. Exhale, fold. Good. If you're feeling like it this time around, unweight your hands, Stretch your arms out wide and then clasp your hands behind your back and come into your forward fold this way. Good. Take one more breath here. Let your head and your neck and your jaw relax. And let's release the clasp. Bring your hands down. Walk your hands back to the front of your mat. Step your way to plank. Feet and ankle bones right together. Shift your weight over to your left hand. Roll to the outer edge of that left foot. Send your right arm up. You can always come down to the knee or the forearm to modify. Push and lift. Take your top arm, your right arm forward alongside your ear. Stretch through your side body, maybe floating your right leg up. Good. Last breath. Nice, you guys. All the way back. Plank pose right down to your knees. Take your knees a little wider on your mat. Stretch your left arm out and up. And then thread the needle on this side. Left arm underneath your right. Opening up the shoulder. Push with your right hand into the floor for a little leverage. Maybe kick your right toes out to the right and push. Straightening out the right leg. So moving your weight more to your left shoulder and upper back. Give this another full breath. And then release and unwind. And send your left arm back out and up. And bring the hand back. Good. Knees come back in. Drop down to your forearms for Dolphin Pose.
Thank you.
Thanks, well, we're not going to mention any names, remember? Okay. So Dolphin Pose, forearms parallel, shoulder width apart, or you can clasp your hands. Just make sure your elbows aren't wider than your shoulders. Let your head and your neck relax. Keep everything pulled toward your center. Pick up your knees. And maybe tiptoe forward toward the face. Shoulders away from the waistline and the rib cage. Soft through your neck. Make sure you can turn your head, nod your head, or shake your head no. Good. Take one more full breath here. Lift. And exhale, knees down, child's pose. Sit on that. You could also take your arms back along your sides for embryo. Back up. forward facing dog. We're going to do one more little standing sequence. So back to our downward dog. Hips to side. Push through the palms. Lengthen through your spine. Stretch your right leg back. Reach it all the way up. Bend your leg this time and turn and open up your hip. Pointing right knee out to the right. Good. Give this an extra breath. And then we're going to step that right foot through, setting up for a warrior two position. Extending out through the arms. Shoulders soften down. Good. So we're going to turn this into an eagle warrior hybrid. So right leg is forward, so right arm is going to go under the left. You can always grab a hold of opposite shoulders. Stay in that lunge. Lift up through your elbows and your fingertips a little bit. Trying to separate the shoulder blades here. Keep it here, or option to drop this down, kind of like our ostrich pose. If that doesn't suit you, you can either stay upright or unwind the arms. Good. Give this another breath here. Root down firmly through both feet. Strong through your core. Come back to your upright position. Still in your warrior two stance. Unwind the arms. Reach the arms back out. Take your right arm and stretch it straight up. Bend your elbow. Bring the fingertips to upper back. Left hand up and over toward right elbow and pull it back some. Opening through the tricep and the shoulder and the side body. Option to take this left arm down and work into arch your arms behind your back. A couple more breaths here. Good. Deepen into that lunge. Lean it back. Last breath. Unwind everything. And you're going to send this into half moon. So the right fingertips are going to go about a foot beyond your toes, picking up this back leg. Take a second to find this balance, opening up this hip and shoulder. You can certainly keep it as is or work into your half bow. Say, bending the left leg, reaching for your foot, and then kicking it back. Feel your breath. And release out of that. Step your left foot back. Now you're going to take the left leg back again, right leg back again, reach it up, bend your leg, open up your hip, pigeon pose, right knee forward toward your right thumb or your right wrist, option to take figure four on your back, square off the hips, lift up a little bit here, and then walk this forward, walk the hands forward as you fold. guys. Take another breath here. Now start to make your way back up. We're going to come back to the hands and the knees. Drop down to the forearms. Pick up your knees. Tiptoe forward and stretch your right leg into the air. So the one that was just in pigeon is in the air in your three-legged dolphin. So feel for length and extension through that right leg, but also using your core. You're welcome to do a couple hops here toward a forearm step. Good, and then right foot down, come down to your knees. Do whatever you gotta do, child's pose, or if you wanna come forward into like a sphinx, you can do that for a moment before we take that on the other side. Are you wondering to yourself, is class almost over? Yes. Yes, it is. You might go a little over today. All right. Take one more breath, and then let's all meet back up in a downward facing dog. Left leg in the air, stretch it all the way up. Bend your left leg and open up the hip. Give this a couple of breaths here. Good. Left foot steps through for warrior two. Rotating that back heel to the floor and extending out through the arms. So arrange yourself here, warrior two stance, pressing through both feet, torso upright. And we're working into an eagle warrior hybrid. So your left arm is going to drop down and go underneath your right. The forearms wrap around, palms together in front of the face. Stay strong in your lunge. Lift up a little bit through the elbows, the forearms, and the fingertips. Option to stay right where you are, keep breathing, or drop this down into this variation of ostrich. Feeling into your hips, your shoulders, your upper back. You can even move your arms a little bit over to your right, toward the center. 2 more breaths. Good. Anchor your feet, connect to your core, come all the way back up. Stay in your warrior two stance with your legs. Unwind your arms, and then send your left arm straight up. Bend your elbow, fingertips to your upper back. Right hand comes over to your left elbow, and just give it a little pull back. Option to stay here, or take this right arm down behind your back and maybe reach up and clasp or arch your arms. Good. Take 2 more breaths here. Deepen into your lunge, lean it back, feel your edge. Good. Come back upright, re-extend out. Right into our half moon. So you're going to bring this left hand forward about a foot in front of your toes. Take your right arm and right leg up. Find your balance here. Opening up this right hip and shoulder. Option to bend the right leg and come into your half bow. Beautiful, everybody. Last breath. Let's take this down. Take your right foot to the back of the mat. Press through your hands. Take your left leg back and up. Bend your leg again and open up your hip. Stretch it out. And then guide your left leg into pigeon. Pigeon variation of your choice. You could come to figure 4. Square off the hips. Lift up a little bit through the spine and your torso. And then walk your hands forward and start to fold it in. Take a couple more breaths here in your pigeon. Back to your upright position. And you're going to come to hands and knees, so just take that left leg back. Drop down to your forearms for one last dolphin variation. Pick up your knees. Tiptoe forward just a bit and send your left leg up. So the one that was just in pigeon in the air for that extension and that length. Little counter pose. Staying connected to your core. Maybe a little pop toward your forearm balance, forearm stand. Good, you guys, last breath. Bring that left foot back, knees down. Again, whatever you choose here, child's pose or sphinx. And then we will all meet up in a happy baby on our back. So take your time to transition here onto your backs, and you can pull the knees in toward your chest. And then grab a hold of your feet. Soles of the feet face up toward the sky. Pulling down through the sacrum and the tailbone. Good. And then release feet to the ground, a little wider than the hips. Stretch your arms out wide, or you can goal post the arms. Windshield wiper your knees, side to side. The next time your knees drop to your right, pause there. Pick up your right foot and ankle, let it rest up on top of your outer left leg. Or you can come into a spinal twist of choice if this one doesn't suit you for whatever reason. And then uncross and just switch on over to the other side. So drop your knees over to your left, and you can pick up your left foot and let it rest on top of your outer right leg. Bring your knees back up, stretch your legs out to the floor, reach your arms up and back alongside your ears. And you can allow your body to settle to corpse pose, Shavasana. Of course, if there's anything left unfinished for your practice, please take the time to complete any of that. And then let's just allow the body to rest, to be still, to surrender, to be receptive to this breath, this place. The road seen, then not seen. The hillside hiding, then revealing the way you should take. The road dropping away from you as if leaving you to walk on thin air, then catching you, holding you up when you thought you would fall. And the way forward, always in the end, the way that you followed, the way that carried you into your future, that brought you to this place. No matter that it sometimes took your promise from you, no matter that it had to break your heart along the way. The sense of having walked from far inside yourself out into the revelation, to have risked yourself for something that seemed to stand both inside you and far beyond you, that called you back to the only road in the end that you could follow, walking as you did in your rags of love, and speaking in the voice that by night became a prayer for safe arrival. So that one day you realized that what you wanted had already happened and long ago. in the dwelling place you had lived in before you began. And that every step along the way, you had carried the heart and the mind and the promise that first set you off and then drew you on. And that you were more marvelous in your simple wish to find a way than the gilded roofs of any destination you could reach. As if all along you had thought the end point might be a city with golden towers and cheering crowds, and turning the corner at what you thought was the end of the road, you found just a simple reflection and a clear revelation beneath the face looking back, and beneath it another invitation, all in one glimpse, like a person and a place you had sought forever, like a broad field of freedom that beckoned you beyond, like another life. And the road still stretching on. It's David White, his poem, Santiago. Start to notice the breath in the body. And as you're ready, begin to bring some life, some gentle movement back into your physical body. You can begin to shift and transition over to your side into a fetal position. And then all the way back up to your seat. Breath. Let's take the arms all the way up, hands together. Just gather all of this goodness to your heart center. And gratitude for this practice, for community, for this opportunity to move and to breathe together. We'll finish with one round of Om. Take a full breath in. Om.